Welcome to Exodus chapter 5 on Francis Reads the Bible. So, Exodus chapter 5 is about Moses and Aaron going before the king of Egypt. The thing sometimes we forget when we're reading this chapter is the former king of Egypt, who was Moses' grandfather, is dead. Remember, the princess, the daughter of the king of Egypt, adopted Moses as her son, making the king that died his adopted grandfather. And now there's a new king. And of course, the new king is one of the sons of the late king, meaning this new king is either one of Moses' cousins, adopted cousins, or adopted brother. Okay, most likely adopted cousin, because the daughter of the princess can be king, I think. It has to be one of the sons of the king himself. So either adopted cousin or adopted uncle. So is either an uncle of his, that's his adopted mother's brother, that's the princess. Yes. So yes, one of the princes, the princess's brother. So Moses and Aaron. So now he's going before his uncle, adopted uncle. So Moses and Aaron went to the king of Egypt and said, "The Lord, the God of Israel, says, 'Let my people go, and they can hold a festival in the desert to honor me.'" "Who is the Lord?" the king demanded. "Why should I listen to him and let Israel go? I do not know the Lord, and I will not let Israel go." Remember, God said he was going to make the king's heart stubborn, so he won't let the people go, so God could do the things he wanted to do. So here it is. Then in 3, they told him, "The God of the Hebrews." Egyptians have many gods. They don't know this God of the Hebrews. The Hebrews are their slaves, so why should they care that the God of slaves wants them to go to some desert to go pray to him? Or the king is not going to care. So they asked to be allowed to travel 3 days into the desert to offer sacrifices to the Lord their God. That if they didn't do it, he was going to kill them with disease or by war. Then king said to Moses, "What do you mean by making people neglect their work? Get those slaves back to work. You people have become more numerous than the Egyptians, and now you want to stop working?" It's always amazing that the amount of Hebrews, the Israelites that went to the land of Egypt, the number of males from Jacob were 20. That's Jacob's sons, grandsons, and now they're like uncountable, and they are more than the Egyptians. Can you imagine? So, like I said, God has said he was going to make this king's heart stubborn, so there was no how he was going to agree. That same day, the king commanded the Egyptian slave drivers and the Israelites foremen, "Stop giving the people straw for making bricks. Make them go and find it for themselves. But still require them to make the same number of bricks as before, not one brick less." He was doing it so, he could break their spirits some more. In 9, he said, "Make them work harder and keep them busy so that they won't have time to listen to a pack of lies." And a pack of lies is what Moses and Aaron came to the palace to tell the king, that their God wants them to go into the desert to worship him. Imagine having slaves and whatnot and coming to tell me that the slaves building my kingdom and whatnot will leave for 3 days to go and worship some God I know nothing about. That's not going to happen. Why not? Because king will easily say, "Why not just stay here and worship your God, do your sacrifice and whatnot?" So yeah. Then in 10, the slave drivers and Israelite foremen went out and said to the Israelites, "The king has said that he will not supply you with any more straw. He says that you must go and get it for yourselves wherever you can find it. But you must still make the same number of bricks." So the people went all over Egypt looking for straw. The slave drivers kept trying to force them to make the same number of bricks every day as they had made when they were given straw. And since that was not happening, because you can't produce things out of thin air, it's not possible. Like, make things that don't exist to exist, and you're not giving people materials to create it. So the Egyptian foremen now beat the Israelites slave driver, sorry, now beat the Israelite foremen who were in charge of the work, and they demanded, "Why aren't you people making the same number of bricks that you made before?" Yeah, you think you people material and expect them to make create magic out of it, whip bricks out of thin air. Then the four men went to the king, that's the Israelite four men went to the king, and they complained, "Why do you do this to us, your majesty? We are giving no straw, but we are still like workers' union." The head of the workers' union went to meet the king. But where's a workers' union that the workers have no rights. Let's just have leaders. We are still ordered to make the bricks without straw, and we're now being beaten. It is your people that are at fault. Then the king answered them, "You are lazy. I don't want to work, and that is why he asked me to let you go and offer sacrifices to the Lord. Now get back to work. You will not be given any straw, but you must still make the same number of bricks." The four men realized they were in trouble when they were told they had to make the same number of bricks every day as they had made before. And as they were leaving, they met Moses and Aaron, who were there waiting for them. Because I'm sure Moses and Aaron heard that the head of the Israelite foremen, the leaders, they've gone to meet the king. Then when they saw Moses and Aaron, they said to them, "The Lord has seen what you have done and will punish you for making the king and his officers hate us. You have given them an excuse to kill us." I can't blame them, because since Aaron and Moses went to the palace to tell the king, "See what our God said, their lives have been very hard." So now they are putting the blame on Moses and Aaron. And Moses now turned back to God and he said, "Excuse me, Lord, why do you mistreat your people? Why did you send me here? Ever since I went to the king to speak for you, he has treated them cruelly and you have done nothing to help them. So, like, you said I should come and liberate these people, but instead it's worse. What's going on? No, you said that you want to save them. You hear their cries and you want to save them. But what are things harder now? So you just do something like make everything, easy." So of course he has to go back to God who sent him. He can't do anything by himself. He has no power. He can't force his uncle. The king of Egypt at the time was his uncle, I believe. One of the late king's sons. Yeah, that's his uncle. Not his cousin, his uncle. Yeah. So, and that's what happens when what I've learned from this is when God speaks to you about a situation or you've cried and fasted and asked for something and things seem to be getting hard, go back to God. God is not a man that he should lie. So go back to him, say this is what he told me, see what's going on. That's what I've learned from this chapter. He went back to God instead of trying to go ahead to go and convince the king. He went straight back to God, see what's going on, see what they are saying. Nothing is getting better. And as always, these are my thoughts. I'm not a pastor or anything. And this is Frances reads the Bible. God bless you and see you next time.